Hello everybody. In today's video we are working on a Canon AE-1 and I would like to demonstrate the process of removal and then subsequent installation, or rather reinstallation, of the winding mechanism. And this is my personal camera, so I'm free to do what I need to do with it. So let's go ahead and start working on it. It's a partially operating camera, so what we'll do is remove the battery first and start by removing the bottom cover next. Okay, I've described this process of removing top cover and accessories components in my previous videos, so I'm not going to talk much about this process at this point until we get to the winding assembly. So there's a couple of reasons why you would want to get into that section of the camera, and as we go along with the disassembly, I'll be explaining some of these reasons to you. All right, so we got our top cover off. So one of the reasons why you would want to get into this section, disassemble it, is just basic cleaning. A lot of times you'll have debris getting stuck in that mechanism here, falling through these openings, okay? And quite a few times I've noticed that on this top cover here, this assembly, this plastic assembly, is being secured by these little rivets, okay? Black plastic rivets, and quite a few times what happens due to the age or the way people use cameras, they will rotate this shutter speed dial, and due to the overuse of it, if you will, or just improper use or bending, this may get detached, and then subsequently these pins will end up in the winding mechanism and basically jamming the entire winding mechanism. So this is one of the reasons why you would want to get into it and disassemble it. All right, so here we have a camera without the top and the bottom cover. The first thing I would like to do is work on the bottom to free up the area here, so then we can actually work on the top and remove the shaft and whatever components we have to work on. So first things first, we're gonna take out this tripod base plate. Then we'll remove this C-clamp. This will allow us to lift up this winding arm. Okay, and there's a washer, okay, that we have to keep an eye out on and just put it back together later on. Then I will go ahead and remove this screw from the winding shaft. That's all I have to do with it for now. Now I'm going to flip it over. The next step is removing the ASA dial assembly carefully. Remember, this is a spring, so you kind of want to unwind it by holding it with your fingers. Otherwise, it's going to snap and chances are it'll break off this tungsten wire. All right, then we're going to remove this shutter speed contact. And there's 3 screws. 1, 2, 3. I'll go ahead and clean off some of this dust. All right, before we get to that point, we're gonna desolder this wire here. It's a reset switch wire. Screws 1, 2, and 3. Okay, now we have to be a little bit careful because we need to be aware of the fact that the winding shaft has an assembly on top held by a plastic cover. So what I like to do is I'm gonna put my screwdriver and hold it against that plastic cover while I'm lifting off this base plate here. And there you go. Okay, it's out. And let's put this plastic cover back in there, right here. Okay. All right, so just so you can see it, I'm gonna try to expose it, remove this plastic cover. You see a bunch of springs, little cylinders here, and this circular base plate, whatever the name of it is. So anyways, this plastic cover was supposed to have been glued or secured by the glue on top here. It obviously dried out. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to put little glue around these areas here, points here, so we can safely keep it on and not thinking about it disassembling on us. All right, so right now it is ready to be disassembled. So all I have to do is carefully lift it from this side here, and there you go, it is out. Now a lot of times, as I mentioned before, these debris or plastic rivets, dirt, dust can accumulate around this gear area here and create an obstacle to your smooth winding, or even could basically make the entire camera get stuck and jammed. All right, so this is one way to clean it here with a brush. Okay, and then placing it back in its original location. What we'll have to do is properly position it. Okay, you have to make sure that this portion here is positioned vertically in relation to the bottom gear. Okay, not horizontally, not like that, but vertically. Okay, like that. So what we'll do here, we're just gonna drop it back. Okay, position it that way, and here's our bottom portion of the camera, and here we have our gear. We're gonna position our master gear this way, place the washer, and put the screw back on. Okay, I don't want to wind anything yet because nothing is yet fully secured. I'm gonna flip it over, and I will do the same thing with this gear here. Position it vertically, just like that, because this portion is in vertical position and needs to be lined up with the gear the same way. I'm gonna go ahead and secure it here that way, and I'll place back those 3 screws. Here we go. Let's finish this top cover portion first. There we go. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put back this ASA dial assembly. Okay, so we're done with the top. Let's reverse it. So what we'll do next, we're gonna actually put this washer onto this pin here, and then place this fork in its original spot. Secure it with a C-clamp. And again, these videos are basically just to demonstrate the way I do it, okay? And I don't necessarily encourage anybody to do it yourself if you don't have experience with cameras. I wouldn't risk it, you know, because there's many things that could go wrong positioning wise, you know, forgetting about certain components, things like that. And sometimes I forget some of the components before I, you know, go back and put it back in place. So it is, you know, something to keep in mind. This is just, you know, just to demonstrate what I do to get to that point, and not in any way recommendation of doing things. All right, so let's see if we can wind it here, and I'm gonna use my pliers to do that. Put the battery in. There you go. Everything is back in place and everything is working condition. All right, so there's your video here. If it helps you out, I'm happy with it. And if you have any questions, reach out to me either via email or via the comments. Thank you.